secret. And it's all legal.
Are you ready for showtime? Oh, come on, you do better. Are you ready for showtime? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Break down, baby.
Who the hell is this?
Alan, you have been described by your enemies as evil, insane, manipulative. Who are you?
To examine it would be to demystify it.
Yo, get a ticket with a tasty group, okay?
Wow.
It definitely makes me cringe.
Very, very, very painful.
1, 2, 3, pick it. Pick it. Come on. God damn it. Could you one time pick it? What the
You're disgusting.
It's showtime!
It's the Alan Cox Show on 100.7
You ignorant prick bastard.
WMMS.
Cleveland.
Okay, what's going on, everybody? Good afternoon. Hi, greetings. From us to you, from our house to yours. My name's Alan Cox. Thanks for showing up to what I predict will be another 4 hours of broadcasting. Bill Squire is right there.
Hey, creepy hugs, everyone. Thanks for listening and watching this episode of the Alan Cox Show, titled There's Something About Mary's New Job.
Mary Santora's right there.
Grandma says hi.
Hello, Grandma. How are you and Grandma doing with the whole cabin fever thing?
There's been some tension this week, honestly.
I was going to say, nobody's going outside if they don't have to.
Yeah. And Grandma hasn't been able to go outside, and where she goes to her aqua class has been shut down because they're having problems with their roof. And they're not going to get out there and fix it in this weather. So she has been like...
And who wants to get into a pool in this kind of weather anyway?
Well, you would if it's a heated pool.
No, I
like,
understand that, but you still got to...
Yeah.
It seems counterintuitive. Even if it's indoors and heated, you got to get out and you got to leave. Wet hair, yeah.
So she hasn't really been going anywhere. Well, she wears she doesn't get her hair wet.
She wears a little shower cap?
Very particular about her hair.
I
think she just puts it up.
She's dainty that way.
Yes. But so she hasn't really been going anywhere, and I still do everything that I do, and that's just, I don't know. She's been a little cranky, but we worked through it because we're pals, and it's all good now.
That's what roommates do.
I've been a little bit rude in her opinion, so.
Well, she is English.
Yeah.
Mary Santora right over there, who is now official. She's our official Alan Cox Show fill-in.
Yes.
Right?
We finally made it official.
You're our official substitute fill-in. Right.
I officially work here every now and then when I'm in town and available.
Right.
Yes.
I like that.
Isn't that so exciting?
Beautiful.
No babies. Hi, everybody. Yeah, so I'm kind of on cloud 9 right now. I'm having a really good day.
Well,
Very
good.
excited.
Good. Happy to have you when you're in town and when we need you.
Perfect.
Yes. Also, when we need him and he's in town, Pound Cake's back there behind the glass.
Afternoon, white people, which is all the time because I have no plans, no friends, and I'm always willing to work to make.
Are your roommates still gone?
Yeah.
Are you feeling the pinch of that, or is it a nonstop Pound Cake party at Gay
God,
Bay?
I love it. I was like, man, I have this whole place because I have a really great place, and I have it all to myself.
Right, but okay, so you just answered my question. You have it all to yourself, but are you having people over?
No one.
So you're just running around naked while these guys are gone. Yeah. You're telling Alexa to turn the lights off and on.
Yeah, there's no booty calls in this weather, so I'm okay.
Oh, is that true? The weather does the weather cut in on booty calls too?
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
Legally a pair of boots that says otherwise.
Well, I had a guy that I was gonna bring over, but then he was like, "All right, I'm on my way," and then I was like, "Cool." Like I freshly showered and shaved. I was like, "All right, it's going down. It's been a minute," and then he was like, "Yeah, my car won't start." I was like, "Oh, Uber?" He's like, "Nah, it's getting kind of late. I'm just gonna
Why didn't you go over to his place?
Because I didn't want to. I was already.
He's got the whole place to himself.
I was in my undies. I was ready.
I like how you ask Pound Cake a simple question. He goes up 9 octaves.
I didn't want
Hey, how
to.
convenient. I understand, but he was willing to come over to your place.
Yes.
Did you guys flip a virtual coin or what?
I just said I had the place to myself, and I have a big bed, and I was already laying in bed, ready to go.
It's not a big bed. It's a regular bed.
Well, it's
What size is it?
It's like,
Queen?
not even a queen. It's like a full size.
That's what I have a full. Yeah.
Well, whatever.
That's a glorified twin.
It's a bigger twin.
A glorified twin.
It's a full.
It's a glorified twin.
Let us have our small successes, please.
Whatever. But no.
I mean, it's better than the bed he did have because he was sleeping on a twin bed for a long time.
Okay, we're not talking about my bed.
No, but we're giving context for people who might be new to the program and not completely immersed in Pound Cake's bed history.
Who cares about my bed history?
It provides context. You said you've got a big bed.
It seems a lot bigger when no one's around. To be like, it seems a lot bigger when it's empty. Yes.
Empty bed is different than big bed.
Right.
Sure.
That's what it is.
Big empty bed in a big empty apartment. Come over. Oh, you can't come over? All right, well, then I'm staying in and watching Netflix.
So it feels bigger when there's nobody next to you. Aren't you employing that boyfriend pillow of yours, though?
Yeah, I still have it.
Yeah.
That'll make it a threesome.
You know it's not a live person, right? It's still a pillow, no matter how many people are over at your place?
It whispers to me at night. It's pillow talk.
What does it say?
It said, hey.
Literal pillow talk.
How you feeling?
Where's my head? I have no face.
Why do I have nipples?
And they're very protruding nipples too. Like they're out.
Yeah.
Does he have a belly button?
I don't know.
I don't remember. I don't know.
He doesn't remember.
I like the abs.
Uh-huh.
It has
I
abs.
wonder.
It has abs and
If it
nipples.
has nipple, but no belly button, that would be.
Well, it wasn't born.
No, I understand.
So devotion, accuracy, maybe that's what they want.
That's what I'm saying.
Nipples are just vestigial whatever's on guys,
Oh,
too.
you're
We don't
saying
need these. You know what I mean?
because it wasn't born, it would not have a belly button.
Right.
Honestly, I just want like a sex robot just to cuddle with. Like that's gonna be.
You can cuddle with a robot. They're like,
Yeah, it's a body. If you can have sex with one, why can't you sleep with one?
I don't know.
People have probably cuddled with worse.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
You know, a bag of potatoes.
We'll get there.
A really skinny guy.
We'll get there with that technology. A
Cuddle
robot
bot.
that you can have sex with and cuddle with.
A cuddle bot. That's all I need is a
It's
cuddle
like
bot.
a little switch you flip.
Yeah, cuddle mode.
Cuddle mode.
Okay, now I'm going to put this into sex mode, all right? And then it just changes its outfit.
It reaches over like, hey.
No, it's stuck in headache mode.
Oh,
God damn it.
no.
Are you awake? I'm not awake. Well, listen, it's a future that we can all agree on. By the way, as we have not yet emerged from the polar vortex, you can go to WMMS.com and use the keyword closings to see everything that's going on. We're I think, slowly moving away from it, but it's still not to the point. It's still a lot of people out of school, and I've been keeping close touch with my parents since they're in Chicago, which is being referred to as the epicenter of the whole thing. They're getting something called frost quakes in Chicago.
What is that?
Apparently, it makes a lot of noise, and even growing up there, I don't ever recall anything like that. I kind of had to look it up when I saw the stories, but that people were being awakened by these loud bangs, and I wasn't sure what it was. And it's a rare, albeit rare, but meteorological phenomenon where the water in the ground freezes and cracks the ground and rumbles things, and it's called a frost quake.
That's crazy. I saw a picture of someone's toilet tank that had bursted in Chicago because it was so cold, and so then it was just a block of ice because it expanded and then it
in the shape of the water in the
shape of
toilet.
the water in the toilet. That's insane, right?
Inside their house?
Yeah.
How cold is it in their house?
I'm thinking their heat must have gone out, and then like they weren't there. They came home to that because they obviously can't stay there.
I mean,
if it's that cold.
The temperature there, not the wind chill, the temperature was 25 below.
That's crazy.
So they were telling people, if you're outside, don't talk, don't take deep breaths,
Right.
stuff like that. It's all physics, obviously, so you don't see it all that often. I saw people posting that I took a shower and the steam from the shower froze on my door. I go, yeah, that's what moisture does when it's that cold, But yeah, I had never heard of frost quakes, so that's something that is happening in the Midwest.
It sounds like something from like The Day After Tomorrow. You know what I mean? Those like end of the world movies where everything's starting to just
usually
go
you'd
to hell and,
expect Jake Gyllenhaal or Dennis Quaid to tell you about it.
Right.
It's one of those things that they're going to just know what it is. They're like, is it an
that's a
earthquake? They're like,
frost-
nope, that's
it's
a frost quake. And
Right,
like,
right.
thanks, scientist that knows everything already.
Right.
It's called cryoseism. Cryoseism. Yeah, water underground freezes, expands, and cracks the ground. And then it...
That would be terrifying. I mean, not that you're out walking anyway, but if you were, and then it's just like...
I thought I had something like that because I would hear like these loud bangs coming from like upstairs of my apartment, and I'm laying in bed. I just hear boom, And I was like, what the hell is that? Because I thought it was just like wind or snow hitting the top of my building. Turns out that the guy who moved out left his patio door open, so every time the wind would blow, it would like smack the house. I'm like, damn it, man. So we had to like let management know to go.
Does he have a patio door that swings open?
He has a balcony, and yeah, he has a screen door on his balcony.
And it was just smacking around.
A screen door. Huh.
A screen door and a glass door, but yeah.
Yeah, all right.
My
See, here, Pound Cake knows what the bangs are.
Watching his face makes it so much better.
I like that because he took half a second to decide if he was going to get shot or not, or just let it sit.
Well, no. Once again, my mic. Turn my mic off.
Why you turn your mic off immediately?
Because I don't know if I have to answer a phone. Or
all this talk of boyfriend pillows got him breathing heavy. He doesn't want the listeners to be exposed to that. I appreciate that.
I don't like to be in the habit of leaving my mic on because then I'll be answering the phones and you'll be like, Alan Cox Show.
All right, that's fair.
Yeah.
Doing his job.
Ow!
All right. See, he's ready with that because there's a cock.
Yeah.
On the shotgun,
and that's when
there's
he
that
gets
big cock that you can hear, and that's how he knows. See, he can wind it up. All right, I've got, speaking of which, Glass, the movie. Oh. It's a documentary about frozen temperatures in Chicago. It's very exciting. Bruce Willis, Samuel L. Jackson, James McAvoy, the latest M. Night Shyamalan film, if you want to see it and haven't, get you some passes on the way back. 35192 if you want to text or get to us at AlanCockShow.com.
The Alan Cox Show on 100.7 WMMS. And everywhere you go on our free iHeartRadio app.
couple of passes for you to check out Glass, the new film from M. Night Shyamalan. It is the sequel, end of the trilogy with Unbreakable and Split. It's James McAvoy, Bruce Willis, Samuel L. Jackson. If you want to see it, it's showing a lot of theaters still. A couple of tickets for you if you were caller number 14. Good luck. 216-578-1007 or 800-348-1007.
I would like to introduce you to a man who needs no introduction, probably because most of you have done it with him. Just kidding. He wouldn't be interested in any of you.
The Alan Cox Show on 100.7 WMMS.
I assume that was a clip from The Office.
It was. I have my Office shirt on today.
Are you able to pinpoint the exact episode?
Mm-hmm. It's when they hire on Todd Packer from being a traveling salesman to In the Office. And,
is that Timothy Oliphant? Who's Todd Packer?
No, he's Champ Kind from Anchorman. I don't know
David
his name.
Koechner.
Yeah,
David Koechner.
Oh, okay.
So they hire him from being on one of the traveling salesmen to like a full-time employee in the actual office.
Yeah.
And everybody hates him except Michael.
Because they're like brat boys or something?
Yeah, and he's like super dirty and like he just makes inappropriate jokes constantly.
He's not into the whole PC culture thing.
Yeah, right. But that's what that's from. He's like,
all right.
A man who needs no introduction. Most of you have done it with him.
All right. Maybe I'll just start watching more Office. Because I forget all the people who have gone through that show. Timothy Oliphant's been in there, and Idris Elba's been in there, and I forget that... you know, I don't think I ever watched any of the Spader episodes.
That's where I'm at right now.
Good.
I'm in them now.
I mean, you definitely miss having Steve Carell on there, but Spader was a really interesting character that was pretty funny on there.
How many more seasons did they do after Carell?
2.
They did 2 more.
Yeah, they did one season with James Spader, and then the last season, Spader was gone too. And it just kind of wraps up everything.
And Helms was the main guy?
Yeah, but he's not even there for most of it because... That's when he was doing like all the movies, yeah. So,
but yeah, it's basically like the last season is them tying up loose ends, getting all the characters like where they need to be, and then there's like the big finale. And
Krasinski was in it the whole way through.
Krasinski was, and
Jenna Fisher,
and Schrute.
Dwight was in it the whole
time.
Rainn
Wilson.
Rainn Wilson,
who's a very tall human.
Is he really?
I had him on my show in Chicago years ago. Yeah, he was pimping some movie, and he came in. He's very tall.
Well, him and Krasinski.
Well, Krasinski looks tall.
Yeah.
Rainn Wilson, I guess there was something about him that I didn't get the vibe of how tall he was. I don't know how tall he is, but
his
holy
moon
cow.
face.
What's that?
His moon face.
His moon face. M-O-O-N. That spells Dwight. 35192, you want to send me a text to the live stream if you want to watch at AlanCoxShow.com. And frankly, why wouldn't you? But you can share and subscribe and like and comment, and I'll have another... $1,000 for you about 6 minutes from now. Do our Go Fund Yourself. Every one of those keywords you hear all day long, somebody gets $1,000. Why not you? There is a photo going around a lot of right-wing media. James Woods is who I saw, because I follow James Woods on Twitter. I like him as an actor, and he's a real hoot politically. But he was passing a photo around of a homeless person on the sidewalk in a series of blankets and wearing this big thick coat and covered in snow, and he posted, you know, like, oh, sorry, we were busy getting invaders through the southern border for free stuff or whatever. Like these guys ever give a wet turd about the homeless. But it is, and if it's been passed around or you're passing it around, just know it's a photo from Canada about 6 years ago. So not a current photo. Again, feel free to send it to your aunt and her friends or whatever about the sorry state of things. But although my favorite tweet was Comrade Trump Jr. Tweeted, he thinks that SNL, Saturday Night Live, he thinks it's S and L.
No, he doesn't.
So people were just roasting him within an inch of his life because he was making fun of someone. And he said, it's almost like a funny version of an S and L skit using the ampersand symbol.
He's got to be kidding, right?
Some people are like, this guy thinks it's S and L. As much as his dad has been mocked on that show, you'd think that he would know.
It's only been on 50 years.
People were like, live from New York, it's Savings and Loans. Now we know where Hamburgers comes from.
Oh, yeah. That's funny.
Yeah, so.
S and L.
I didn't know what that was in reference to, but I saw other people tweet about that saying, like, I love Saturday and Night. or no, Saturday and Live. Yeah, whatever. Yeah, so funny.
S and L. Right.
So funny.
Anyway, good for him. Also, a lot of people telling me Frostquake is opening that Metallica show last night. Very excited about that. I hadn't seen any of the info, but I'm going to the... Anybody else going to the Metallica show tomorrow night?
I got a show in Sandusky, so I cannot go.
South Bend, Indiana.
All right. Yeah, I haven't seen Metallica in a long time.
What song do they sing?
They sing...
Burn two ditches, down, burn witches, and Dracula.
Burn two ditches and kill two witches.
That's not them.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
That's pretty good. No, they sing Enter the Sandman. I hear a lot of people say that.
Oh.
Enter the Sandman.
Mr. Sandman,
And
bring me a dream. Yeah, okay. That's a
Make
good
him
song.
the cutest that I've ever seen.
That's a catchy song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when they do it...
They're very good at what they do, Bill.
Yeah. The strangest thing is when Metallica does that song, they do it in a very traditional way.
Yeah.
They don't rock it up at all.
No, why would they?
Right.
Don't fix what ain't broken.
That's right. No, but I was thinking about it. I literally don't think and I'm a big Metallica fan. They're just, and it's one of the best shows I've ever seen. I just didn't take the time to see them over the years, and I don't think I've seen them in 25 years. So I'm hoping that that's not too much of a gap where I remember the show I saw them at last, and then when I see them tomorrow night, I'll be like, oh. I mean, they're all in their 50s. I mean, I get it.
Yeah, but
know?
they're...
And they still... I mean, I'm in the
think they still
minority
put
on
on a
this.
good show,
Among
yeah.
the Metallica fans, they say they still bring it. So I'm very much looking forward to it.
I heard the Panic at the Disco show last night was amazing.
And it was sold out.
Would you say it was lit?
I would not say that.
Maybe lit AF?
Bill
yeah?
wouldn't say that.
I wouldn't say that. Cause
No, I saw on a couple people's Snapchats and Instagram stories, and I was like, oh.
I actually had
If
tickets.
you were home alone, why didn't you go?
Well, one, they didn't have tickets here at the station, and I didn't find out till after I picked up my food. So
After you picked up your food.
yeah.
Wouldn't that be worth just eating your food real quick and then going and
Putting it in the fridge and nuking it later?
Your food in the car. It's a fridge.
I didn't feel like it, but Matt texted me on the way home, and he was just like, hey, I have like 4 tickets. He was like, do you want to go? He was like, because I'm debating on whether or not I want to go. I was like, no, I'm already home in my sweats. I'm chilling. Like, I don't really want to do anything. And he was like, all right, because I heard on the radio you were talking about it, and I have tickets. I'm like, nope, I'm okay.
So there was no panic in your sweatpants or anything like that?
No, but like I don't know how good those tickets were. Like if they were meet and greets, no doubt. Like I'll eat the food later and I would totally go. But I mean, I didn't want nosebleeds, and then I don't know. It was just a lot of rigmarole for not a lot of payoff.
You wouldn't want to see them even in the nosebleeds?
Nah, probably not.
Okay.
See him, Brendan Urie. It's Panic at the Disco, but it's really Brendan Urie because no one else knows anybody else in the band.
You don't know anybody else?
Yeah, because it's not really a band anymore. Brendan Urie fired everybody, so he just hires people just for the tour, and then they leave. There's no band.
Oh, so he's Panic at the Disco.
He is Panic at the Disco.
Wait a minute,
I see.
so he has a different band every tour?
He just auditions people for the tour every.
So he has, 30 dates, and he has the band, and then 2 years from now he has another 30 dates, and it's a different band.
There is no Panic at the
I didn't
Disco
know that.
band. Like
I did not know that.
He fired the original members, and then like he just gets people to record with him, and then they go on tour with him.
Fired everyone?
Yeah.
Huh.
I did not know that.
Well, one guy was fired over multiple allegations of sexual misconduct.
That was actually one of the members that he had auditioned, so he wasn't even an original member either.
Okay.
But the other guy, he actually was in a relationship with, which is very scandalous in my book.
Scandalous?
Yeah, scandalous, because he's married to a woman now, but he dabbled before. And
Longtime touring guitarist Keith Harris dismissed following multiple allegations. Boy, you're not even.
That.
Huh?
I thought we talked about
we
that.
probably
yeah.
we did.
You're not even in the band, like, really officially. You're just like a session guy that they bring on the road, and you can't keep it in your pants.
But that's probably what he's using to get it out of his pants.
Mm-hmm.
But that's all,
I'm in Panic at the Disco, ladies.
Yeah, that's all rock stars. Like,
Yeah,
rock stars are
100%.
not supposed to, one of the perks of being a rock star is you're supposed to sleep with groupies.
Yeah, it sounds funny to me, though. I mean, yes, people go rock stars. There are always going to be hangers on, but there are still levels. If I say I'm a guitar player in a band, and they go, "Oh, what band?" and you say Panic at the Disco,
Moist.
if somebody
Immediately.
no, because if someone hasn't heard of that band or they think they suck,
That doesn't happen.
that's of course
all
it
they
happens.
do is a little quick Google search. They're like, "Is it a real band?"
Of
And then
course
they're like,
it happens.
I'm gonna go to the bathroom, and then they come back. They're like, "Oh my gosh! Oh, I love your band."
Wait a second. So they have to Google, is that a real band?
Well, I'm just saying, if you're talking to someone who has
let me
never
ask
heard
you
of the
this.
band,
Let me ask you this. Do you think that a groupie would sleep with someone just because they're in a band? even if they don't like the music or know who the band is.
They would have to be a
See, I always
successful
think
band.
groupies would have to be really into the band.
Yeah, I don't think it's just the idea of
It's a band guy.
Is it?
Yeah.
It's the
It's
lifestyle.
that-
all it
access.
takes?
It's the lifestyle.
It's the
the
access.
coolness. It's the hair.
Because-
it's the look.
Well, they
it's
slept
the,
with more guys than us, so
Who
only
did?
These two.
Us two.
So they'll know.
well, they say it because they're like, he could have any girl in the world. He travels all over, but he chose me.
Tonight for 5 minutes.
If that. But like
Right.
still, he still chose me out of all the other groupies that were in line waiting, trying to get a picture.
Right, but don't you have to like the band?
No.
You don't.
It's the access. You're like, wow, I get to go backstage. You know, he probably is going to sign some of my stuff. I have a
Right, but
memory to talk about
but
with my
again, if you've
friends.
spent any time in backstage over, let's say, the past, I'm going to say 10 years. By and large, if you've spent any time backstage in the past 10 years, it's not 1985 anymore.
It's not just.
It depends on what
parties
show.
and
No.
It
drugs
depends on what show.
and-
It does, yes, but I'm just saying, by and large, I mean, I've been backstage. Now, granted,
You're a man.
no, but
He's saying the environment
I can
in
see
general.
other people. I can see if there's a line
It's
of
not
girls.
wild, yeah.
I mean, it's not,
Maybe they're hidden. Maybe he had them like R. Kelly, each one in each dress room facing
They
the wall.
could be. I certainly didn't hear anyone screaming and banging to get out because they were chained to a radiator. But okay,
I think girls are kind of to like what he said when he said like, oh, they could have anybody in the world, or they're famous, or they're this. It goes the same way with like I've seen girls do that with comics, like after shows where it's like a bigger name and they're like, oh, but then see, even you watch the show, you enjoy it, and you're like, oh, he's so funny, and then you want to go. Or sometimes it's the fact that, oh,
He's just famous.
All these people know about this guy, that puts him on a pedestal. And
that's what I mean. It's people who are fans of the act, right?
no, it doesn't have to be. It can be people who are fans of famous people.
Huh.
Yeah, they're
They
a
just
fan of
like
the
the-
lifestyle.
They just
Right.
want the story of, I hooked up with someone from that movie or
Right,
that
right.
show.
Yeah,
or
like
that band.
like when she lived in Hermosa Beach, one of Gwen's roommates banged Chris Kattan.
Right.
And
Not
like
an
that was her.
attractive guy.
And when he was here a couple of years ago, I was like, well, I'm not going to mention that because I don't know who the girl is, and he wouldn't remember,
Right.
But it was the only tenuous.
What if he did? He's like, that was the one that got away.
Right.
I really loved her.
Yeah. Like
Did
when,
she get the kitten I sent her?
All you have
when
to
DePaulo remembered the girl that dumped me for him. Remembered exactly what she looked like.
Yeah, all you have to do is just have like a cabana and put on a show for people. Like if you're at Forward and you get one of the cabanas and people are looking up at you and you see one camera phone like, oh my gosh, I got a picture of so and so. That's all it takes. The girl's like, oh, I need to be on that level. I just need to be seen with him. And all of a sudden my Twitter handle is going to be blowing up. I'm going to have all these followers on Instagram. That's all it is. Because I've seen that happen too. Where
And
people,
this dude's not gay?
he was a
Brendan Urie?
He's a straight dabbler.
He's dabbled.
Yeah, he's dabbled. He's married to a woman now.
Oh, he's married.
Yeah, he's married to a woman now.
A straight dabbler. He was straight tripping, and now he's a straight dabbler.
Yeah, one of the guys he fired was a guy he was having a fling with, like that was in the band.
Wow. Mm-hmm. All right. Describes himself as pansexual.
Yeah, he just falls in love
So, I
with
mean,
the
you're
soul.
you're
Some
attracted
pans
to
are
everything.
just-
Means you love Emerald.
Those non-sticks?
Yeah.
You see those copper ones I just came
Oh,
out?
man,
toxic,
You,
yeah.
you melt
They're
cheese
toxic?
on them?
Huh?
The copper ones are? Or
Non-stick.
The non-stick. Okay.
Yeah.
The copper ones are good.
Teflon is.
Melt cheese. That's where your
You've
mind
seen
goes
those?
with a pan. You can melt
no,
cheese
there's
in
like
it.
those
Anything
copper...
hot you can melt
Oh my
cheese
gosh.
in.
No,
But it
there's
doesn't
like those
stick.
copper pans on like infomercials that you
Oh,
can
yeah,
like
yeah.
just put a block of cheese in there, melt it to it, and it doesn't stick.
Yeah,
you can
copper
burn
pan.
It slides
cheese
right
on
out,
these.
yeah.
From the people who brought you dump cake.
Yeah.
Here comes a copper pan. Dump cake. Seen on TV. Hey, just put this crap in a pan and pour in a liter of Dr. Pepper. Cake.
Cake made.
Okay. I got $1,000. We call it Go Fund Yourself. Somebody gets $1,000 right here. I hope it's you. Good luck.
Hey, it's Rover. Go fund yourself. We have your shot at $1,000 now. Text the nationwide keyword MOM to the number 200-200. You'll get a text confirming entry plus iHeartRadio info. Standard data and message rates apply in this nationwide contest. That's MOM to 200-200. Good luck and go fund yourself from 100.7 WMMS.
By the way, congratulations to the fine people of Garfield Heights who have joined Lakewood in repealing their pit bull ban. The city council voted 6-1 in favor of the repeal this past week, so there's no pit bulls can have the run of the joint now. Lakewood, you'll recall, banned them a while back. And
would you get a ticket if you had one or
Pitt
something?
fans.
You gotta take it away.
It doesn't make sense that Garfield Heights. You can't have a Pitt ban in Garfield Heights. That's a town full of aspiring rappers.
So
that doesn't make any sense. So they've repealed their Pitt ban. I mean, that's a town where you're going to have massive outcry among pit bull owners.
Not an outroar.
If that helps you. Sure.
Outbark.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As a kennel owner, he and his wife apparently shot a bunch of bestiality videos.
Oh.
So if you're a dog fan, this was in Virginia, but it made national news, as you might expect. A guy and his wife went so far as to have the front toenails of one particular dog removed so that they wouldn't get hurt while they were having sex with the animal.
Oh, boy.
How does I guess. I was going to say, how does the girl do it? And then I was like, oh.
How does the girl do it?
It's a male dog.
If only there was a style of fornication that was named after canines.
This is going to blow your mind, Mary.
You know what? You are never going to believe this.
I'm ready.
Yeah. Feds busted in. They found a bunch of videos of the... And I'm always amazed by these stories because you have to convince another person to do this with you, right? It's one thing if they're like, oh, this guy was banging his dog for months. That you get. But they're like, a guy and his wife who ran a kennel.
That's when you
got to find... So I always wonder, do you find somebody who's into that and get married? Or do you somehow convince your wife to start making bestiality videos for you?
I don't think you can convince a
That's
regular,
a ride or die bitch right there.
You can't convince a regular, normal person to do that, I don't think.
Some people don't believe in soulmates. But
that's a soulmate.
That's a soulmate right there. That is someone, like, there's the one, and you found them. You were brought together. Like, there's some, and excuse the word here, animal magnetism that is drawing you together.
Yeah. So these two were both in their 40s, this guy and his wife. They were videos of them with a Doberman named Demon. And they did it in the master bedroom. So, you know, that's supposed to be a sanctum of intimacy. And when you bring a dog in there, you know, it might throw the whole thing out of whack.
Why?
So gross.
Just why? What about a dog, would you say?
Because some people are so bored with their lives that they're like, baby, what do they always say? Honey, we were just watching Dr. Phil, and he said, if it, like Chris Rock said, if it ain't new, it's through, right? You got to keep it fresh. You got to mix it up. Some people, they'll go for sex toys. Other people go for role play.
Or other people.
Hair pulling, whatever. Other people.
Bring people in, I mean.
These two thought, listen, we run a kennel. It's staring us right in the face.
The answer to our relationship problems has been in front of us the whole time.
That's right. It's in cage number A25 right out there. It's a Doberman named Demon. And we're going to pull his fingernails off. Or toenails. Like, wouldn't it be toenails?
Toes.
Paw claws.
Paw claws? Yeah, paw claws. Sure.
That's so
Poor
sick.
dog. I wonder, was
I
he
know.
traumatized?
They don't know what's going on. You know
Maybe
what I
they
mean?
do.
The dog?
The dog doesn't know why his finger or his nails are getting ripped
But he
out.
also doesn't know, why is this person doing this to me? Do you know what I mean?
I think that part the dog's okay with.
No.
When he's banging a lady.
That I don't know.
Yeah.
So the husband had been
the
arrested.
husband's doing it too.
Husband had been arrested on gun charges for something, and of course.
So how do they figure that out?
Huh?
How do they know that they're filming? Are they posting these bestiality photos?
No, they weren't
videos?
posting them. They were trying to do some hocus pocus with the ownership of the kennel. Her husband had been arrested on gun charges, so she was kind of trying to do some sleight of hand. And there was a warrant to search the home because of the gun charges, and they found the videos of them.
On a laptop or like tapes?
Don't know.
Doesn't say.
Doesn't say.
I always
hey,
wonder
listen,
when they say they found the videos. Like,
I think that some people think that just because you're engaging in bestiality, it means that you might not be down with the innovations in technology, right? You think there's going to be a stack of VHS tapes of you and Demon. Nah, you probably got them on a thumb drive.
Yeah, they're in the cloud.
Yeah, they're all up there in the cloud. Come on. That thumb drive, we took the claw off of that one too. So it couldn't hurt us. So, listen, it's one thing if you're engaging in that kind of behavior. And mind you, there are many states in which that is still not illegal. But if you're engaging in that kind of behavior, it's one thing. It's when you add an extra layer of danger because of the breed You get a Doberman, and I don't know anything about Dobermans.
They seem mean.
Historically,
it's all how they're trained.
It's all how they're trained. Yeah. That's right. So, anyway.
That's so messed up.
I agree. But I imagine that there's at least one person listening to us right now who is engaged in this kind of behavior.
I don't even like thinking about that.
And if you have, sir or madam, just don't film it. You know, just keep it in the cloud of your mind. Keep it in the memory banks of your think meat, and go from there. There's no reason to ever record that encounter. The lighting's going to be weird. You're not going to look the way you think you look. The dog's going to be embarrassed. The dog's going to be embarrassed. Hair, whatever. They're going to give you that look on camera, like when you come around a corner and you see a guy in a dog park and the dog's taking a dump and you lock eyes and the dog's just looking at you. That's
staring
the,
at you.
staring.
Such a sad looking, like, come on, man.
I wish I didn't have to do this, but I have to do this.
So normal people are like Eskimo brothers.
What is normal, Pound Cake?
People who
Really?
don't sleep with animals.
Yeah.
Well, they're not sleeping with them. They're having sex with them. I'm sure they put him back in the kennel.
But like
Well,
the guy
done.
pretty much shared his wife with like a dog. So what do you call that?
Puppy pals.
That's a good one.
Harlan Williams would not like that to
No,
catch
he would
on.
not.
Oh, I don't
Copyright
know.
infringement. Probably call it 5 to 10. I don't know. But
Rough Riders.
Rough
Riders. DMX.
Eve, DMX, all of it. I'm going to have Dimitri Martin tickets for you later on. He is on tour and coming to the Agora the 1st of March, the Wandering Mind Tour, if you like Dimitri Martin. So we'll get you those later on. 35192. Want to send me a text? AlanCoxShow.com for everything else.
The Alan Cox Show on 100.7 WMMS. And everywhere you go on our free iHeartRadio app. From the Hard Rock Rocksino Northfield Park Weather Center.
WMMS weather.
216-578-1007. Want to join us live? Or 800-348-1007. You can send me a text, 35192. Cavaliers are off tonight. They are still nursing that win. They'll play the Mavericks here at home. Dallas in town on Saturday night. So they're off tonight and tomorrow night. Saturday night, 7:30 is game time here on MMS. 7 o'clock is when the pregame coverage will begin here. And today is also the very last day you can use the promo code HUSTLE, as it is the last day of the month, with CLE Clothing Company. We'll have a new keyword for you starting tomorrow for February. But HUSTLE will get you 20% off whatever you buy. So if you're in one of their stores, want to get something, or if you want to shop online, you want to go to cleclothingco.com. You want to use HUSTLE.
If I got like a scarf there, 20% off.
20% off
A
that
mug.
scarf. Let's say you bought 10 scarves. 20% off those 10 scarves.
So it's, still 20% off? How much
Yeah,
do I get?
20% off the whole thing. Yeah.
The entire purchase.
If you bought a scarf,
A T-shirt?
a T-shirt,
They sell T-shirts?
I think they sell T-shirts.
a hat,
Do they say Cleveland on them?
I think they say I love Cleveland, or this is CLE, or something like that.
if you bought a hat, a T-shirt, some kind of tchotchke, it would be 20% off that whole order.
A magnet?
A magnet. Say you bought one magnet, and that magnet was 30 cents. It'd be 20% off that order.
Okay. A patch for my jacket?
A patch for your jacket. That's right.
A patch kit?
I'll tell you what, when I was at the motorcycle show, I was really thinking about the leather vests that they all wear. Because you just see everybody walking around and they're in their groups and they have their leather vests. And I think it'd be so funny to have like a group of people that are not in a motorcycle gang, but wearing like a leather vest like they are in a gang.
Would it have a name on it?
Yeah,
or
I mean,
just
like Accidental Comedy vest or
Yeah.
the Alan Cox Show vest.
You mean like a
and stuff
motorcycle club?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
you're wearing your cut?
Yeah.
Huh.
Wouldn't that be funny? We all had our different vests with different like patches on them.
Yeah. I wonder if people in motorcycle clubs would think that was funny.
Lots of fringe.
I think they'd be mad.
Yeah, they get mad about it.
Those aren't people I think I'd want to get on the wrong side of.
Right.
You know, I mean, I don't know. But again, it'd be funny in the context of being at the motorcycle show.
Yeah.
No shirts underneath. Just the vest.
Yeah.
Got it.
Like you're hanging out behind the Blue Oyster Bar.
Right. Pants down one size, just so
There
your
you go.
belly's out.
Alan, you guys are talking about groupies. I was on tour with a lower level famous band called the Brian Jonestown Massacre. Does anybody remember them?
I've heard of them.
No.
He said, I was on tour with them for a whole summer. I'm not famous at all, and I got laid all summer. So there you go.
Just from being in the band.
There's a great documentary,
Just being on tour, yeah.
a great documentary called Dig, which is probably about 15 years old by now, and it's about the Brian's Jonestown Massacre and this other band called the Dandy Warhols. You ever heard of the Dandy Warhols?
Heard of them too. Yeah.
They have had a couple of songs over the years. It was just a documentary about these two bands that were constantly fighting with each other when they were on the road. And it's just a great, documentary about these two bands, neither of which, they both have their fan bases, but neither of which are crazy famous. I don't even know if those bands are still together. But the documentary's a lot of fun.
I'm just saying, you have access. They're like, wow, you get to sleep on this bus? Oh, wow, you get like a penthouse suite? Oh, cool, you get your food paid for and free drinks?
Back in the day, that was right. A guitar tech would be getting laid because the band were all spoken for, and somebody would be like, well, I guess I'll bang this guy.
Yeah, because
they had a story. Oh, I went down on a guitar tech for Ozzy. I guess I just it always surprised me that was a story to tell.
Well, and the thing
people go, oh, they do it for the story. I go, right, but that's an awful story.
But when they tell the story, they're not saying it was the guitar tech. They're saying a member of the band.
Right.
Like they're going to.
I hooked up with Ozzy's guitarist.
No.
That's going to turn into.
I'm saying specifically when people tell the story and say it was a guitar tech.
People have said that.
Of course.
I don't
That's
know.
what I'm saying. Multiple times you'll hear those stories. You'll be like, oh, it was a guy who was the drum tech for Poison. And I'm
I would
like,
never admit that.
Why would you? That's not a story.
Change
it's
it to
a
the
story.
drummer. No one's going to question you.
But
You
then
know
nobody
what I mean?
will believe that.
Why not?
What's the difference?
Because you look at the person telling you the story and you go, oh, no.
Well,
No,
yeah,
no,
maybe
no.
there's
You were
probably
just
levels
there.
to it too. Like for some people, that's a good story. Like I got laid by someone that's a tech, and then someone's like, well, I got laid by someone that's in the actual band, and then the top level is I bang the lead singer. So,
but yeah, I assume people like these band guys just come into a town and they'll go to the clubs after their show, or maybe even just like backstage. They're like, you, and you. Get behind the rope.
Well, that's what I mean. And there would be, like, in the 80s when it was metal bands and those guys, when it was crazy all the time, Motley Crue and Poison and Kiss, you know, they would have tickets, like color-coded cards that they would give to security.
Which room you would go in.
Well, no, they would just point. They would say, give that girl a pink ticket or what, you know.
Wow.
So that kind of stuff. So they were picking them out while they're on stage. It's not like these songs are hard to play.
No.
You know, you get your car detailed while you're doing the solo to, you know, look what the cat dragged in.
When I was in college, I interviewed this guy. He was big on YouTube. His name was Somo. But like he does really famous covers and they're really good.
Sounds really familiar to me.
But he came to the House of Blues one year, and I hit him up. I hit up his management and said, "Hey, can I interview you for the show?"
I know who that guy is.
Yeah. And so I interviewed. I got to go backstage, and you would not believe the groupies that were back there. And like he was paying them no mind, but during his show, girls throw their panties and their bras up on stage, and this particular girl, he was just like, "You come up here," and I was backstage, and I don't know where she went. Like, he took her backstage. I don't know if she was on the bus. I don't know if she was in his dressing room, because I was there, and I don't know where this girl went. So he literally picked her up, put her on stage, and gave her to the guard, and she went backstage.
You just have to wonder how that behavior has changed, though, in an age where somebody can blow you up on Twitter or on social media. That doesn't matter, though. I mean, I think we've all seen how NDAs they're not airtight.
Right.
They're not airtight, but also, look at Stormy Daniels. I mean, yeah, she did speak out, but her life is hell. Like,
okay, but you're talking about two different things. You're talking about a famous porn star who is sleeping with a billionaire versus a drunk groupie who thinks that a guitarist is hot.
And by the way,
those are different things.
Somebody has to let those girls backstage.
Right, you can't just walk back there.
No. It used to be you may be able to sneak in. You know people that would sneak in, guys and girls. Guys would want to steal something from the band. Girls would want to bone them.
Mm-hmm. I will say, too, like, when you're like, oh, I'm just a guitarist in the band, it's nobody who's famous, like the guy who texted in. I think that there's something, maybe it's from a performance standpoint, when I watch someone on stage or doing their thing, like someone who's a singer or someone who's whatever they do, and they're doing it well, that is a turn on to me.
And that's
so
also
like
a thing,
watching a comedian kill, even if I'm not attracted to that comedian or I don't necessarily know who they are, the fact that they're good at what they do is very attractive.
That is hot.
Or like a singer just rocking out and killing it, like that's attractive.
And seeing them work the crowd, especially like your buddy that is in Taking Back Sunday.
Yeah.
Like I'm just using him as an example.
Yeah.
I don't know what his relationship situation is, but he's up there playing with the band, and he's not like an original member, but people that are going to see him at that concert are going to be like, oh, that was the guy. I recognize him. So, like, before the show, you don't have a lot of mystique, but then after the show, you can clean up.
I fully understand the visible members of the... I'm talking about, like, the
guitar
guy
techs that I don't
who's tuning your snare.
Yeah,
you
that
know?
I don't get.
But there's also people
doing sound check.
Again, it might just lead to access because next time they're in town, they'll be like, "Hey, hit me up when you're back in town."
And then then
you might get a backstage pass or something.
If you want to beat more than that snare next time you're in town,
beat these cakes.
Here's my digits.
Yeah, there's also people that screw people for access, like the guards or like the tour manager. Like, they screw those guys because they're like, oh, then I get to meet this guy.
That doesn't get you very far. Like, banging a security guard might get you backstage. I get that. But at the end of the day, if the band doesn't want you around or the talent doesn't want you around, like, I don't know who that chick is, get her out of here.
Then your story is, I banged a security guard
yeah,
at the Quicken Loans Arena.
Right.
Yeah.
That guy who's just working, his $10 an hour job, hanging out. Like,
try to go for the tour manager then. You always know who they are because they always had the little lanyard around their neck, and then they're like, they're always running around doing things. They're putting out fires. So you can always spot a tour manager.
Alan, I was a tour manager for a rock band that had a few different number ones, and I can tell you, was always getting girls backstage. The guys got offered beaches many times a day because there were 5 dudes and 12 girls, so there were always leftovers.
Hey, the leftovers are probably pretty damn good, though.
Because you figure it'd be funny if the band comes out and goes, they each pick one or two,
There's leftovers.
Then have to be, and then the girls that don't get picked are standing there just looking at you. They're like, nah, fine.
Still want to party?
Yeah, right?
Let's party.
You're still back there. Like,
you're gonna be in the orbit of the band.
Because if you're getting solid 10s, if the band is picking solid 10s, I'm good with a 9 or an 8 or even a 6. Like, that's what I got. Like, for free. I ain't got to do no work. That's great. What a great life.
I got into a band for the music. You're like, let's.
See, that's the thing, too, when you're
music was the way to get you to where you wanted to be. But,
guys are picking out, like, rock stars, and guys in bands are like, oh, I'm picking out 10s, or they pick out the hottest girls. The dudes who, like, approach me after shows are just through and through comedy nerds. Like, you look at the guy, you're like, oh, you love the art of comedy.
Right.
Cool, I appreciate that. But it's never like,
they really respect what you do.
Right, I never look across a sea of a comedy audience and like, that dude lifts, and that guy's totally an Abercrombie model. Like, those are not the clientele who's coming to comedy shows.
Yeah, well, comedy's a lot more subjective than music is.
It's very true.
Yeah.
All right.
And a lot less stylized too. So you're going to get
not the way Mary does it. She's got ribbons and pyro, and
Yeah.
it's very impressive.
Yeah.
And Alan,
streamers.
You know, being a radio guy, you never got offered to like anything for being a radio guy. Like, if people recognize you, they're like, "Oh, love the show. Can I, sign a document?"
Can I sign your document? Yeah, sure.
Okay, so even on our level, the lowest level it could possibly be, I have groupies, you have groupies, Bill got groupies.
But I wouldn't call that
a gazebo.
Well, I guess he's got gazebos. No,
gazebos.
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 Right. No, I get what you're saying. I'm just I doubt anyone's telling that story.
Oh yes.
You know what I mean?
Depending on where you
they're
are.
They're keeping that to themselves.
No, in a smaller market like somewhere like Cleveland, people brag about that kind of stuff. Like, I know friends who've hooked up with comedian friends of mine that will tell their friends about it.
Wow,
and I'm
that
just like,
surprises me.
It's even
that
if
really
that's,
surprises me.
And but when you're involved in a scene, like as a fan, you're a real big fan of that scene. That's your world.
Yeah.
If you're a real big fan of a certain band, even if they're not famous to anybody else, they're famous to you. So banging that guitarist or that drum technician,
or that open micer.
that open micer. If you're a huge comedy, nerd, and you think that open micer's hot, that's a big deal to you,
Huh.
So I think there's definitely levels to it.
I always thought of those people more as opportunists, though.
Maybe.
They were somebody who had an ulterior motive. They come back around to you a couple of weeks later and go, "Hey, so do you know so and so? Because I'm really trying to get that whole thing."
Maybe.
I do, and there's nothing I can do to help you. Sorry.
Sorry about your luck.
Yep.
You should have led with that, because I would have told you were barking up the wrong tree. Hey, Sean.
Hey, how's it going?
What's going on, Sean?
Hate the show.
Thank you, sir.
So, back in the 80s, we used to go up to Richfield Coliseum to see acts or whatever, and we wouldn't even have tickets. We would just wait out back for the bands to walk up the ramp. And we went there to see Guns N' Roses. Sometimes we could get in on the encores and stuff for nothing. They would just open the gates. So we're waiting out back, and all of the band walks up the ramp. They're signing autographs, all but Axl Rose. So we wait, and we wait. The guys get in the tour buses, and they waited probably an hour, and they drove away. So Axl Rose comes walking up the ramp. No band, no buses. He's pissed. He's not signing autographs.
Right.
He goes off walking into the parking lot. So, I mean, this is the height of their popularity, and there must have been 60, 70 people walking with him, wondering where he was going. So he walks all the way to the Brecksville Holiday Inn from Coliseum. And
is that a long way?
Not close.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
It's got to be, I don't know, mile and a half.
Okay. That's how he stayed skinny back then. Yeah.
And so me and my buddy get an idea to go over to the Holiday Inn and get maybe the tour manager or whoever's in charge and let him know that Axl's walking. So we drive over there, we grab the tour manager, and the tour manager gets in our car to go find Axl on the road. So we pull up alongside him, and he's pissed. He's not getting in the car. He don't want nothing to do with the tour manager or anybody. And like 2 or 3 kids walked with him the whole way. They got to go upstairs. We basically dropped the tour manager off, got nothing out of the deal. And I thought, we should have did something. We should have kicked his ass or whatever.
we should have kicked his ass just to do something.
Just for a story.
Yeah.
Story.
Right.
And we could have been on like the cover of Hit Parader.
Hit Parader. Sean was on RIP. Yeah. Wow. Look at that. All right. Well, I'm sorry you didn't kick anyone's ass that night, Sean.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Thank you. There's Sean in Canton with a skinny Axl story. Remember when Axl got fat and started doing all those food songs?
Got some ice cream from cold stone, Oreo overload, in a waffle cone.
Still got the pipes though.
Yow, yow, yow.
He had the
Actually-
pipes, even though he was fat, boy. He still sounded good.
It's Spanish, I am Gordo, now that I'm so fat and round. And I don't need no veggies, I eat pizza by the pound.
Yeah. Oh, man, he was good.
I actually like that more than real Axl Rose.
I do too.
I'm waiting in such a long, long line, just trying to get lo mein.
Corey Roddick, boy. Multi-talented.
Not got a hankering for a tasty treat. Nacho chalupa with extra meat. Barbecue chicken wings, JoJo's in that Spanish rice.
Yeah, well.
That's awesome.
Axel's back to being skinny, I think. I mean, he got into some kind of shape for the tour, which is still going on, I think.
That's still
God
going,
bless
and
those guys.
Is he still doing AC/DC dates?
No,
from time to time?
Brian
Johnson's
Johnson is back with
Okay.
AC/DC, at least for the new album. I don't know if it's going to...
But they haven't even toured since that last tour, though.
They have not, no, but I think a word just broke a couple days ago that Brian Johnson is tentatively speaking back with AC/DC.
That's good.
Which is great news for them. I got to go to a break in a minute. It was a really weird... Some New York City dietitian, 27 years old, posts a suicide note on her blog. And it was like the most... And she even cops to it. It's like the most first world complaint letter ever. And then she hanged herself in her bedroom. She's like, I've had a pretty good life. Like, I've gotten to travel, and I've met a lot of great people, and I'm going to miss doing the New York Times crosswords, and I'm going to miss my friends, and I love San Francisco. She lived in New York, though, for a while, and she's like, you know, I've written this note a lot of times over the past 10 years, and this one finally feels right. I'm just tired of being tired, and I'm not happy when I should be happy, and, you know, I'm going to miss cherries in July and late-night junk food binges, and I don't want any GoFundMes. I don't want any funeral.
Damn.
This is not your fault. I'm coming home, Dad, so I guess her dad is dead. Make some room up on that cloud. I'm really sorry, Mama. She put this on her blog, and then somebody did a welfare check on her. She was hanging in her bedroom.
That's so crazy.
So she's like, there wasn't one single thing that led to this. So, you know, for people who you spend a lot of their time looking at Instagram and thinking that people have perfect lives.
It's just mental health, man.
Here's a girl who's just like, I felt nothing at all during what should have been the greatest time of my life. And there wasn't any one thing that led me to this. But it's just time to pull the trigger. So she posted this.
How confusing is that for, like, friends and family? I feel like I
guess so.
If that was
a pretty girl, 27.
If that was my friend or a family member, I would be so lost. Where it's just like, that's one of those cases where really there wasn't really anything wrong. There's nothing you could have done.
No, it's mental
She
illness.
was just done living.
Yeah.
She's just like, I'm out.
Living.
I did what I wanted to do and I quit.
But she's got that depression. Like, when she's saying, I wasn't feeling anything, she was deeply entrenched in depression, but she's putting forward a face of everything's okay.
Yeah.
And that's what a lot of people do, because depression doesn't manifest with just sad song lyrics all the time or just like being like an emo teen. A lot of depression is under the surface, and it doesn't have like one specific cause.
No.
So
it's just you go through your day numb, and
you just go through the motions and
judging from what I've seen in some commercials, though, I mean, there's one pill they're marketing you can take, and the sun comes out, and your room gets blue, and
you
know,
start biking,
something. You start biking, and
biking,
the
hiking,
flowers grow immediately outside your. It looks like a lot of fun.
What are the side effects of that?
Death.
I was going to say suicidal thoughts.
Yes. Ironically, a lot of side effects.
You guys are talking about Viagra, right?
Indeed. Okay. Yes, they're adjacent hot tubs.
Got it.
All right. Dimitri Martin is back on the road. He's doing some tour dates. One of them going to be here, the Wandering Mind tour at the Agora on Friday, March 1. So if you want to go see him, I'll have those tickets for you on the way back. 35192 to text. We'll be back after these.
The Alan Cox Show on 100.7 WMMS. And everywhere you go on our free iHeartRadio app.
of tickets for comedian Dimitri Martin, who is back in Cleveland for the Wandering Mind Tour. It's going to go down on Friday night, March the 1st at the Agora. You can go to agoracleveland.com if you want to get more info on the show. Dimitri Martin, always great. Very funny. A couple of tickets for you if you're caller number 14. 216-578-1007 or 800-348-1007.
Celebrating 25 years of sounding remotely likable.
Not like them.
Kinda. The Alan Cox Show on 100.7 WMMS.
$35192. Want to give me a text? AlanCoxShow.com. The live video stream's there. Audio stream too. You can listen from anywhere on the iHeartRadio app. If you do that from out of state, let me know where you do that. Put you on the map. Ronnie is a brand new bureau chief in Statesville, North Carolina, who hit me up and asked for some Alan Cox Show stickers. If you need those, let me know. Sean's a new bureau chief in Littleton, Colorado. Nigel is in New Zealand somewhere. Brian's in New Stanton, PA. And, lots more people. Tom is at Lemoore Naval Air Station in California. Thank you for your service. Larry's in Little Falls, New Jersey. Bob is down in Palm Bay, Florida. Letter from Josh. Alan, you guys were talking about mass shootings just aren't getting the press that they used to get. He said the biggest problem is that no one in the country has respect for each other like we used to.
Like when we used to drag people behind their truck because of the color of their skin?
You hear that a lot, that no one has respect for each other like they used to, and I'm not sure what people mean when they say that. Because, I'm only 47 years old. So I wasn't alive for a lot of the most combustible parts of this country's history, but it certainly doesn't seem like we were ever in a golden age of mutual respect. So I don't know what they mean by that. A friend of mine in Australia told me about their gang problems where you'll get carjacked and they'll beat you within an inch of your life and blah, 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 and people are discouraged from defending themselves, and that's why more people in other countries want guns. So we're not the only one with problems. Ours are just glamorized. No, okay.
Glamorized?
Well, because people go, well, if it wasn't guns, these people in Europe where they have acid thrown in their face or there's stabbings, they go, yeah, that is true, but you can't throw acid in the face of 50 people at once. You can't stab a whole lot of people in a very short period of time, So I get his point, but what jumps out at me is when people say, well, it's a lack of respect, which I'm not disagreeing with you. I think that's absolutely correct. It's just that I don't ever remember a time where this country was...
super respectful.
Well, or the human race. I mean, you don't even have to, lock it into America. You don't have to confine it to that. Respect for other people is lacking across the board in a variety of ways. The guy who... Did you hear about the KDKA in Pittsburgh? It is a radio station, but it is also a television station. It is their CBS affiliate. It's Channel 2 in Pittsburgh. And when they were doing some of their Super Bowl coverage, one of their news producers on the Chiron, under Tom Brady, he put known cheater.
Which is hilarious.
And it got him fired. He got fired for this.
Probably not worth it for that.
Probably not worth it for that because...
if he was already over the job and he's like, whatever, man, I'm going out.
Well, no, they didn't. No, they didn't interview with him, and he did not think he was going to get fired. And he goes, the only thing that... he goes, I just bought a house.
Oh, no.
So, which, golden rule in this business, don't ever buy a house.
Because you'll lose your job?
Well, sure. I mean, I held out as long as I possibly could before... Michael Tellick is 27. He's a news producer. This is a guy, you bounce around in these jobs. So I actually went to look at the guy's LinkedIn. And he's worked in Steubenville and Toledo and a whole lot of Ohio markets. And then, you get to Pittsburgh. Good market. He got fired, though. And he certainly didn't think he was going to. He's like, I can't imagine this is something that would have gone up the chain to corporate or anything. He said, I think locally. He goes, I meant it as a joke. It's kind of been proven. I was reading about a kid who proved that Tom Brady was a cheater he won his school science fair by proving that Tom Brady is a cheater.
That's amazing.
So this producer, he's like, yeah, but I didn't realize that it was going to get all over social media because he said initially they came to me and they were like, we're going to have a meeting and you're going to get written up or whatever. He goes, but then it had been screenshotted so much and really made the rounds. And that's when they said,
you have to assume
you're
that's going to
done.
happen, though.
Yeah, I think that's a real dopey move. I mean, especially, you got to protect yourself. I mean, for something like that, where it's going to go out over your airwaves, which are not your airwaves, it's the companies.
Mm-hmm.
And on a personal note, you just bought a house, bro.
And once it's out there, it's out there.
Yeah.
Like people will screenshot you. That is out there forever. Like, he was only up there for a second. That's all it takes. People can run that back. People got TiVo.
He was going to get everyone's attention immediately too.
He was surprised at how he's like Sports Illustrated ran anything on it, and it was on Breitbart, and
Is he a Mimi?
A Mimi. He said, this is my 5th or 6th year in TV news, and it's a lot of stress for not a lot of pay.
5th or 6th?
I wouldn't be so worried if I hadn't just bought a house in Pittsburgh. I would look around more, but I'm stuck here now.
You can sell it.
You could.
I mean, Jason sold his house. He was in Florida when he came up here. So
Buying a house terrifies me. I feel like maybe because it's just such a permanent thing that it's just. I mean, and yes, you can sell it, but
depends on where your house is. Listen, I held out as long as I possibly could. And a few years ago, my wife goes, listen, if you're going to re-sign here, and we're going to stay for a few more years, I want to buy a house.
Yeah.
Because we have a kid. Mm-hmm. I go, okay, I get it. Like, we lived in Tremont, Ohio City and all that. Mm-hmm. I go, okay, fine. But I would have been perfectly happy never buying a house.
But
I knew too many guys who lost their gig. They had a house in Indianapolis, and then they're working next to me wherever I'm working, and they got to buy a house there because they got like 3 teenage girls. They're not going to put them in an apartment.
Right.
They're married. They got kids. I understand it, but I was like, ugh, no thanks. But, people want, But if you're in that kind of work and you're bouncing around, who knows? So, yeah, you technically could buy your house, but under those kind of conditions, you probably take a loss on it, and then you're no better than you were before.
Right. But 5 or 6 years, that doesn't seem very long in the TV business.
Tom Brady should buy his house. Pay it off for him. He's got the money.
And be petty.
No.
So he said he goes, the Rivers Casino there in Pittsburgh has got a job fair on Saturday, so he's going to be there.
Wouldn't someone give him a job out of spite or, admire his moxie or something?
No, because it's not like he's an anchor. He's a producer. He's a guy, those kind of roles, I mean, no disrespect. There's a lot of grunt work there.
You know what, though? He's saying the casino, is that a joke, or is he actually going to a job fair at the casino?
Probably will be going to
casino
a job
is a job fair, yeah.
Okay, but that's like a job fair for jobs around the city, not jobs at the casino?
Jobs at the casino.
Okay, dealers make a lot of money.
I know they do.
I was going to say, he would probably make more money dealing blackjack than he would ever do producing in TV.
Yep.
I have a friend who, he's a poker dealer at the casino downtown. And he says on days when, playoff games were in town and stuff like that, he's like, you would just look at the money you made and you're like, this isn't even real.
Oh, yeah.
There's no way.
I was already gone by the time.
$100?
Like $100 whole dollars. You get one of those, black chip or blue chips. I don't even know what color $100 chip is.
100 American.
100 American dollars.
American, wow.
Yeah.
And singles, too, so you can just...
You make it rain down the street
all over your
at
whole
Diamonds.
body. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they built the casino after I left. I was already gone by then. But
Left where?
Pittsburgh.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I had friends who, a couple of them who were comics and were like, I'm done. And they went to go work at the casino, and they're like making a lot of money.
It's not like one of those where it's not a glamorous job or anything like that, but if you talk to people and you're a people person, it's a fun way to make good money.
Yeah, glamour's overrated. I mean, make money. Just make money.
And you can live like that. I mean, some of the shifts, if you do the overnight shift, that sucks or whatever. But if you do a late night shift, when it's, say 5 to 2 in the morning, I have some of my friends that work there. I'm like, dang, they have nice houses and condos and new cars, and it's crazy.
Do you think if Tom Brady wins the Super Bowl, they're gonna have a GoFundMe for this guy? Maybe he did cheat. And then,
What if he got caught cheating in this Super Bowl?
Yeah, he'll be the
I
hero.
was right.
He's like, you guys want to hire me?
Right?
Well, a 10-year-old kid with a great name, Ace Davis.
Ace Davis.
Let's look at a 10-year-old named Ace.
It sounds like a kid superhero, doesn't it?
Ace Davis.
Ace Davis.
Child spy.
I was gonna say.
Right.
10-year-old Ace Davis from Lexington, Kentucky, did his science fair display on Is Tom Brady a Cheater? He won his local science fair, and he's moving on to the district science fair round. It sounds like
Is it like Deflategate stuff?
Yes, it is.
Is it like the pressure inside of a football?
Well, but it also sounds like a situation where, like, the kid's dad hates Tom Brady
Right.
and gave him that idea. He's like, Dad, I just want to make the stupid
Can I make
baking
a
soda
volcano,
volcano.
please? Yeah.
Yeah, I want to do Mentos and Pepsi. He conducted with the help of his mom and sister. He said that the median average one can throw a slightly deflated football is further than one filled to the regulated limit. And he combined those with physical evidence of the experiment, which included Tom Brady memes. They asked him why he chose Tom Brady. He says, because I hate Tom Brady. He's been accused of cheating before, and I want him to be caught.
That's definitely that kid's dad talking right through it.
Yeah, right. What was it again, Dad? Yeah, like high school Republicans.
Right.
I don't know. Whatever my parents said. That's what I believe. So this 10-year-old kid won his high school or junior high, middle school science fair with his Tom Brady is a cheater.
That's really funny that they not only that he did that experiment, but then won. So that's not just him that hates Tom Brady. It's like the whole school district. It's
Science
like,
hates Tom Brady.
Science hates Tom Brady.
Science does not like Tom Brady.
Science doesn't like cheaters.
Yeah.
You can't cheat science.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder, like, what if some kid like had something really cool that year that lost to that?
Yeah,
you know, like some legit scientific experiment.
Whenever
that,
I had to do like a science fair, I would always do like the cliche, like the the volcano with the baking
Did you
soda.
listen to the show at all?
What?
No, he doesn't.
I said I would always do something cliche.
Yeah.
we mentioned the volcano.
I know. I said I would always do that.
I don't remember having to do a science fair every year.
I would do it. I would make
year.
a volcano.
You did?
Yeah.
One time I
don't
entered
ever
it.
remember doing the science fair.
Yeah, I don't think
remember
we actually had one.
time doing a science fair, and a girlfriend of mine and I teamed up and did something about photosynthesis,
Mhm.
where we like took a bunch of like grass and plants and like put this stuff on them, and there was like,
Oh, that's not when you
paper,
put a
and
bunch
can-
of selfies on a clothesline?
No, photosynthesis.
Oh.
You know,
Yeah.
chlorophyll.
Yeah, the process by which plants grow.
More like
yeah.
borophyll.
Right. Am I right?
I am Sandler next week.
Hey, we're going.
I also did a jogging straw too.
A what?
You're going to have to repeat that whole sentence. You did what?
I also made a jogging straw.
Jogging straw.
What's a jogging straw?
It was a way for joggers to drink without like having a water bottle. So it was just
Like
like,
a camelback?
Like a camelback,
It was
yeah,
like
yeah.
it had a holster.
Yeah.
And you put the water bottle in there, and it just has like. My mom got some medical tubing that they would use for like IVs, and I put like a thing at the end of it, and you would just sip it as you would run.
I hope it was like clipped into a Capri Sun. Not like,
Actually, I used a hanger. Like I bent up a hanger, put a water bottle on top of it, and just like had like all the lining from like the IV, and then you would sip it.
He had a hanger and a straw and everything. Wow.
Everything.
A jogging straw.
Modern day camelback.
Yeah. All right, I got $1,000 for you.
Buys a lot of jogging straws.
It does. Or let it ride at the casino. Good luck.
Hey, it's Rover. Go fund yourself. We have your shot at $1,000 now. Text the nationwide keyword SAVE to the number 200-200. You'll get a text confirming entry plus iHeartRadio info. Standard data and message rates apply in this nationwide contest. That's SAVE to 200-200. Good luck and go fund yourself from 100.7 WMMS.
Heard from Marshall, who is our bureau chief in Butte, Montana. He heads up the Church of Satan up there, I believe,
Satanic Temple.
as well, Satanic Temple. And he said they had a big old hostage situation there in Butte yesterday.
Because they worship the devil.
No.
Not all of them.
No, not that. No, I mean, hostage, listen, people might drive you crazy up there in Butte after a while. People just snap. There's a guy on a bus at the Butte Civic Center who had been, there was an armed standoff for 10 hours. And they just, nobody got shot or anything. This guy just, gesundheit. Bless you. This guy had just cordoned himself off on this bus, and he had an explosive device strapped to his leg. Boy, that'd be a great pickup line.
What?
I've got an explosive device strapped to my leg.
Nice.
Would you like
Would-
to come
would that
home with
work?
me and help me defuse it?
No, that would not work.
Cut the red wire. Wait, no.
Gwen and I were talking the other night. We were laughing because I go, "What would be what would be the lamest way to ask somebody, hey, would you like to come to my apartment and get into bed with me? Like this. I don't know.
Just the most basic.
Riffing on the most literal pickup lines that you could have.
I would like to take you out for a drink and hopefully have sex with you.
Can I put my tongue in your mouth for a little bit and move it around?
Would you like to unmake my bed?
And then come up to my apartment and get into bed with me?
At which point we will engage in coitus.
Something, yes.
Can I
consensual coitus?
Consensual coitus.
With protection. There will be a prophylactic during the consensual coitus.
Yeah. Unless you acquiesce to some
I'm getting
other...
all horned up right now just talking
You're
about it.
all
horned up with all this talk about prophylactics.
And consent.
Right.
That's mainly what it is.
Yep.
Yes, consent gets
you all horned up.
I like consent, yes.
There you go.
Consent gets the ladies. I'll tell you what.
We do enjoy it.
Yes means yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And what's the opposite, Alan? No means no.
Sometimes. Am I wrong?
Am I wrong?
I'm sorry.
No means am I wrong?
I need to take our HR course again. I'm sorry.
Have fun.
It's a long one.
Click, click,
click, click, click, click, click.
I agree.
Yes, I agree that I will not do that. Yes. I will not work on behalf of a hostile foreign power. Yes, click, click, click. Yeah. So anyway, there was a guy in Butte, Montana, who was on a bus, and they got him.
I don't know why.
But that's excitement up there in Butte.
That'd be pretty exciting wherever it
exciting
happened.
anywhere.
Would it?
Yeah.
If this happened downtown Cleveland, it'd be on the news,
it
but
would-
you wouldn't be talking to your friends about
No,
it.
No, I
mean,
think people would talk about
It
it.
would be in passing, though. Did you guys see that guy who held up the bus? Like, what happened? Was he sick? Was he crazy? Was it like? I would
He
just
had an
assume
explosive device
I would
in his
assume like a
pants.
crackhead went crazy and wouldn't let the bus driver.
I mean, I
drive.
assume at least once a day somebody hijacks an RTA bus around here.
Or tries
Is that
to,
not true?
or-
Yeah. I just assume that's the case.
You don't want to mess with an RTA bus driver, though.
No.
You
No.
get knocked out.
No, you don't want that at all.
That was a long time ago.
I know.
How long ago was that?
That was 2012.
You know that because that was when you were one of the most interesting people in Cleveland.
That's right.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah, because I would have...
Are you less interesting now? Is that the implication?
He got beat up.
It's been
He would've
7
been
years
beat
since
up.
he was interesting?
Apparently.
Yeah. Oh, yeah,
Wow.
big time.
All right.
That's
That-
when
that
I
was-
started comedy. So
That was
yeah.
Matthew Fox.
Well,
What,
no,
the guy
no.
from Lost, was that?
No, that was a different incident.
Okay.
There was the bus driver, the
uppercut.
RTA bus driver, the lady's yelling at him, and he's like,
He
"You're
uppercutted
going to
her
jail
off
now!"
the
and
bus.
knocks her out.
Boy,
Going
that was
to
that
jail
long
now?
ago?
Yeah.
You know who would never do that, Bill?
Who?
Paul Stanley.
from Kiss.
Here's Paul Stanley driving an RTA bus.
Yes. Okay, that's cool. Next stop, Tower City. They got a lot of nice shops in there. You can even get you some Chinese food at the food court. I'm Paul Stanley driving the bus.
That was Paul Stanley driving an RTA bus.
Tell you now how old that is. Tower City is a destination
It had
in
a
that
food
bit.
court.
Yes, food court.
My older sister
Get yourself
just-
an airbrush T-shirt.
Sorry, my older sister just texted me and said, one time I asked the guy, what would you do if I unzipped your pants? And it was the most successful pickup line of 1999 for me.
What would you? Well, yeah, but anyway, a girl can say anything
can
to
do
a guy
whatever.
of a
I guess
sexual
that's
nature.
true. What would you
do
do
if I unzipped your
pants?
pants? I would
And
explode
that's why
2
she
seconds
has
later.
an 18-year-old.
Yeah. Well, 99?
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, this is maybe.
Yeah.
So she
maybe.
didn't stop at the unzipping of the pants.
She said it was her most successful pickup line of 99.
As if women have unsuccessful pickup
Yeah.
lines.
Dude, I have
If you
been
do, it's
turned
because
back-
you're not good looking.
Oh, well, thanks, Alan. As the sentence, I've been turned down by so many guys is leaving my mouth. He's just like, oh, it's because you're not attractive.
I meant the
also.
royal you,
Oh,
not
yes,
you.
yes, not
You're
the,
lovely.
The you who's sitting in front of me and also telling a
Stop.
story.
Oh,
not
come
that
on.
Royal
one.
you.
Why? All right, I'll tell you
Why
what.
I oughta.
I'll tell you what. What would
What,
you do if I
Alan?
unzipped your pants right now?
I would get fired from the job I just got. That would be what would happen. No, I mean, I've had this conversation. I don't know if on here before, but I've had it on podcasts and stuff where I don't think that men necessarily like an assertive woman as much as women like an assertive man. And that's coming based off of pure experience. That when I hit on guys and when I ask guys out, 99% of the time, if we're having like a good conversation and I say, hey, let's go meet drinks, or do you want to hang out Thursday night? It ends up diffusing and never happening.
Why is that?
I
do you
don't
think?
know.
It sounds kind of chauvinistic, like they just want somebody that's a bit more.
We like to hunt, Alan. We're hunters.
Do you know how many of my friends have said that? They're
Yeah.
like, well, just don't. I think you might have told me that, not to be so.
No, but hunters had to hunt because what they were hunting was out there. If it was in front of them asking to be shot, there would be no hunters.
If a deer came to you and was like, hey, please shoot me, and you're like, man, I want a different deer.
It's
Like,
the,
that's- you know what I
it's
mean?
the thrill of the hunt, though.
Okay, but the thrill of the hunt is all right, we met and now we're talking. That's the thrill.
Yeah, if
I don't understand
if
games.
the fish
I've
jumps in
never
the boat, you
understood
didn't
games.
catch it.
I never felt.
Yeah, but why do you need to catch it to eat?
I agree.
'Cause you're
I
a
never.
fisherman, you're a
I was
hunter.
never all that thrilled with the hunting.
Makes me mad.
I was like, it's a lot better if you know this.
Yeah.
Because people know who you are.
Oh, I
It's
know.
a lot better if that works in your favor. If the fish jumps in the boat, it's a lot better.
I didn't say I was a hunter.
Well.
You just said he likes fishing.
I'm more of a gatherer.
He casts a wide net, literally, and whatever he catches, he pulls in.
He nests. There's a lot of boots and old cans in there and throws those out.
Giggly boots.
Giggly boots.
All right, I've got a break. I'm going to have what for you? Cavs tickets later on. Kyrie and the Celtics are going to be in town on Tuesday. If you want to get to that game, we'll hook it up shortly. 35192 to text.
The Alan Cox Show on 100.7 WMMS. And everywhere you go on our free iHeartRadio app.
Mr. Hero's iconic Roman burger is
416-578-1007 to join us, or 800-348-1007. 35192. Put a text right in front of me. AlanCoxShow.com. All the other stuff. Got this week's Christie's Instagram hotties if you're there. Always a lot of archived video footage from the show. The guy who inspired the Bart Simpson prank phone calls. Is that what that was?
Yeah.
The old South Jersey bar, this old crusty dude who would answer.
Like like this guy, hello, oh, I'll kill you, I'll kill all of you. And they're really raunchy, and it's very dated stuff, but
it was
really
pre-Jerky Boys?
Yeah, it's pre-Jerky Boys.
Okay.
It's pretty funny, though.
Marshall in Butte, Montana. You weren't part of that hostage situation, were you?
No, thankfully I wasn't, but actually it was down at the bus center here, and my wife had just gotten off of the city bus when all the cops started storming in.
Yeah.
So it was definitely a frightening situation, to say the least.
But wait, there were hostages involved, or there's just this guy on a bus?
Oh, no. The guy had everyone get off the bus except for one hostage. He kept one hostage for a little over 2 hours.
Oh, I
He
see.
didn't have a hostage. And he had gotten on the bus in Missoula, and the bus wasn't even supposed to come to Butte. It was supposed to go to Billings. But he could have put a gun to the driver's head and made him drive here to Butte and wanted him to go to the courthouse. But instead, the bus driver, I mean, I don't know about you, this guy must have huge cojones. He took him down to the bus station instead.
He's like, do you want to go to Billings or Bozeman or Butte? He's like, put me in any city with a B in it.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
Missoula.
And apparently the guy did have a bomb strapped to him, although they have not mentioned that on the local news, which I find a little odd. But luckily the situation was diffused. After about 2 hours, they let the hostage go. He let the hostage go. And about 8 hours later, the cops shot I assume it's tear gas through the back windows of the bus, driving him out. So the situation was resolved without any casualties whatsoever. I do have to give big props to the Butte police and everyone here for handling it the way it was. Clearly the man has severe mental issues, and once again, it comes down to a mental health thing, you know.
Speaking of, Marshall, speaking of driving him out, how is the Satanic Temple faring up there in Butte still?
It's going very, very well. We have new members all the time. We're getting monthly meetings rolling here. And thank you, Pound Cake, for correcting Alan. It's not a satanic church. It is a temple.
I'm sorry.
Get thee behind me, Satan.
Hail, Satan! It's fine. It's absolutely fine, sir. It's actually, we're forming a new organization called the Temple of Satanic Philosophy, which will be able to include a lot more people in it, I think.
Satan! All right, well, have you seen or heard of the documentary called Hail Satan that's going through the film festivals this year?
No, I have not. I would love to see it.
It's getting a lot of positive review. It's basically about how it's kind of demystifying the whole Satanic Temple thing, that it's not necessarily people who even worship Satan. It's people, who don't want 10 Commandments in city buildings and stuff.
That's exactly what our organization is about. We're supporting gay rights. We believe there needs to be more gun control in this country. There's a huge mental health crisis in this country.
Don't be good people.
We're really
no.
That's what it is. You're supposed to be good people.
No.
I'm sorry. No, the whole point is that we can be very moral, upstanding people and
no, you
help
can't.
everyone without the fear of something bigger and greater than us lording over at us. If the only reason we're being good is because we fear punishment, then we're not good people anymore.
Right. It's a struggle for justice.
Who would do that?
That's exactly it, sir. Exactly it.
That's
it's
right.
It's the fight for the little guy.
Well, keep your eyes open, because the documentary is called Hail Satan, and it's being hailed. It's just now going through the film festival circuits, but I'm sure Netflix or somebody will pick it up. So.
That's great. I'll definitely keep an eye out for it. Pound Cake, I'm sorry you hate us. We're not evil. We are very...
No, he wants you to be doing all kinds of lascivious stuff. He thinks
I know
that
he does.
Yeah.
I don't even hunt. I don't have it in the heart in me to shoot an animal. I am a meat eater, but I have a grocery store right down the street.
Right.
I don't have to go out and kill Bambi.
Satan has a torture chamber.
Marshall, he's an activist. He's not a, he's not a hate monger.
No, not at all. Not
Right.
at all. We need there needs to be more love in the world, not hate. We need to give people a hand up. We really
Classic
do.
Satan.
Yeah.
Give him a hand up. Right. All right. Thank you, Marshall.
Thank you.
All right.
Have a wonderful day.
There's Marshall, who is one of our bureau chiefs in Butte, Montana, and also heads up the Satanic Temple up there.
Does that confuse anyone else?
What's that?
Confuses me.
That he's like, we're all about good things and this, but it's a
Not
Satanic
if you're
Temple.
not if you're familiar with the Satanic.
I am not. That's why. Probably.
It's not even necessarily. I mean, a lot of people, they think Satanic Church or whatever. They think of Anton LaVey back in the day. They think of like that really stylized goatee and the capes and crap. You know, so that was more of like an LA thing for a long time. But the Satanic Temple, they're heavy in Detroit, and they're in. Those are people who are like, look, we don't. It's not like they're worshiping Satan. It's just that Satan, to them, is the ultimate rebel and individual. And he's like, no one has control over my body but me. So everyone should be able to do what they want to do as long as it doesn't harm another person.
But that's traditionally not what Satan stands for. Is not harming other people.
Not biblically.
Yeah. Right.
But even
what
in the
other
Bible,
stance are you taking Satan other than biblically?
well, they're taking him, I guess, as a cultural figure rather than a religious figure. You know, like
that-
there's some people who are like, I believe in God, but I don't go to church. I don't do this. You know, I don't know. You don't want to talk to them. But listen, all I'm saying is, what bad, by the way, did Satan do in the Bible?
No, he was just like, he's the, you know.
He's the archetype, the fallen
Well,
angel.
and he comes to them in the Garden of Eden and says, hey, disobey the person who you're not supposed to disobey. And he makes you do things you're not supposed to do.
Well,
he doesn't
or
make you.
eats you in the right direction and pushes you like, hey, maybe you should try
tempts
this.
you.
His point,
Tempts you.
His point then as now was, why are you letting somebody else tell you what to do? That's all the Adam and Eve nonsense was.
Mm-hmm.
Why are you letting somebody else tell you what to do with your body or with your mind? That's all Marshall.
That's what their thing is.
The fruit on that tree.
Right.
Go eat some of that fruit.
Right. It's the tree of
No,
knowledge.
I don't agree with that
He's
because now I
telling
get
you he doesn't want
cramps and need chocolate, and I don't. She never would have touched the fruit. I would
Well,
never
they have
cry
chocolate.
15 times a day.
Cramps and chocolate. Now, that's a weird thing. Hey, listen. I heard Sarah Huckabee Sanders say from her own luscious lips, Bill.
Luscious.
That God.
You do have a weird thing for Sarah Huckabee Sanders.
I can't even look at her, man. She looks like she's melting.
Oh, you want to get your mind fully blown?
No.
Have you ever seen her husband?
Is he hot?
He's a good-looking dude.
Come
yes.
on.
Yes.
Why are you going to do this to me?
Because I want to blow your mind.
Sarah Huckabee Sanders looks like one of those like things off the Mucinex commercials. She does, doesn't she? Doesn't she?
does.
That's a meme I saw going around. Yes.
She looks like one of those.
I've never heard that.
I did see that photo.
Ugh, dude, she's rough to look at, man. Sarah Huckabee Sanders' husband. Here we go.
She was doing an interview for the Christian Broadcasting Network.
Oh, he's not like hot. He's hot for her.
Oh, he's a good-looking dude.
He's a good. He's
He
tall.
looks like he's in
Yeah,
good
he's a
shape,
good-looking
and he's
dude,
you
but
know, yeah.
I was getting ready to look at like some model looking
I thought,
guy or
well,
something.
I would just you look at her, you think her husband's going to look more like George Conway.
She looks like
than
she-
the husband
Her
she-
dad, yeah.
Right.
She looks like it hurts her to smile.
He just
Yeah.
looks like a good-looking young dude.
That's that husband you get when you sell your soul to Satan. Like he looks like somebody.
Well, now you know how to get a husband.
I'd rather be single.
She was talking to the Christian Broadcasting Network about how God wanted Comrade Trump to become president. How anyone knows these things, I don't know, but, you know, she's got to figure it out.
I think God calls all of us to fill different roles at different times, and I think that he wanted Donald Trump to become president, and that's why he's there. And I think he has done a tremendous job in supporting a lot of the things that people of faith really care about.
Oh, I like that.
So did God also call Obama?
No.
So he doesn't call the presidents.
No. He just calls
just
Americans, Bill.
Okay.
Americans.
Ah, gotcha.
Things Christians care about. That Trump speaks to that. Multiple divorces, affairs, non-disclosure agreements, active cruelty to poor people,
Porn
xenophobia.
stars.
You know, all the hits.
Checking all those Christian.
It must be pretty cool
boxes.
to just go to work and just know that you're gonna lie. Like it
Well,
should be
I
very
gotta-
carefree.
I will offer the unpopular opinion that I do I feel some kind of pity for Sarah Sanders.
No.
Because I don't think anyone around him, first of all, there was no way that they could have fully known what they were getting into,
No.
Yes,
right?
they could have.
And she's
How?
nobody did. She was she's doing her job, and that is what this job entails.
She
You
was
always
the
hear people
second
go,
pick.
"Oh, she should quit."
She had time to back out. She
But
wasn't.
why would she?
She wasn't the first. She wasn't the first spokesperson.
I
to the
know,
president.
but she's the longest serving
So she
because
saw
she believes in what she's doing. Whatever you want to put on her,
She
I'm
saw
just
what
saying.
Old boy went through. He was hiding in the bushes, Alan.
You're talking about Sean Spicer.
Yes, he.
Right. What does that have to do with her?
Because she saw what he went through.
He
and why did she
went-
think it was going to be easy?
Because it was still early in the proceedings. She had no idea that she was going to probably have to go to this extent to sit there with a straight face and try to like recast reality in some way. So, you'll recall on the campaign trail, he's way into the Bible.
Oh yeah, he loves
Trump
the Bible.
Loves the Bible. Anyone who would listen, he would tell them how much he loved the Bible, and they used to ask him about it all the time. And it was actually pretty impressive because he would have very specific answers to their questions. If you recall when he was on the campaign trail.
You mentioned the Bible. You've been talking about how it's your favorite book, and you said, I think last night in Iowa, some people are surprised that you say that. I'm wondering what one or two of your most favorite Bible verses are and why.
I wouldn't want to get into it because to me that's very personal. When I talk about the Bible, it's very personal, so I don't want to get into verses. I don't want to get into.
There's no verse that means a lot to you that you think about or cite?
The Bible means a lot to me, but I don't want to get into specifics.
Even to cite a verse that you like?
No, I don't want to do that.
You're an Old Testament guy or a New Testament guy?
Probably equal. I think it's just an incredible.
Listen, I like them both equally, all right?
He's a
They're
big
two radically divergent views of the world, but I like them equally. I like Old Testament. Clearly, he's an Old Testament guy.
Oh, yeah,
For
for
those
sure.
of you who aren't paying attention.
He's a big fan of the evangelicals.
He just couldn't even come up with one verse, one reference. It's
I
his
wanted him
favorite book.
so badly just to be like, for God so loved the world that he gave his only, like the John 3:16, the most quoted one of all time.
Or if you're running around, because at the time people were like, oh, it's a gotcha question. I'm like, it's not a gotcha question if you're telling everyone how much you love the Bible. Have one verse in your pocket and make it an obscure one. So that people go, wow, he really does know his stuff. Look at this.
Yeah.
Now, after he repeats that 190 times, people would have figured it out. But
He
which one
probably
do you
But
like?
if it is your favorite, you're going to use it again.
He's
Like
I don't think he wanted to mispronounce the books either. Like,
He mispronounces everything.
I know, but if he's saying it's his favorite book and they're like, quote something, and he just Deuteronomies, like he's like.
I like Genesis.
I like Genesis.
I like Exodus.
I like Corinthians.
I like the whole Pentateuch.
Chrysanthemums.
Chrysanthemums.
Revelations is
Revelations.
Psalms.
I mean, what they're doing over there is great. Palms.
Yeah.
Psalms is how it's said.
He said Psalms.
That's how you say it.
Oh, that's how you say it?
How did you say it?
Oh, no, I don't know.
How
You're trying
are
to
you
mispronounce
saying
it.
What do
got
you
it
think
right.
it is?
Peace Psalms? How are you saying it?
I thought there was some other, like, I guess I didn't know how to say it.
So when you
Psalms.
try to make a joke, you accidentally correctly pronounce something.
I thought there was some, like, accent on the end of it, but I guess not.
Psalms.
Okay, well,
Psalms.
Well, he could have said
Psalms.
that. You can mistakenly get that correct, so he should have just did that.
I like for all the words that he mispronounces. He tries to mispronounce one and gets it right.
It's hilarious.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So Sarah Sanders is still doing her thing. But I thought that her husband was like a pretty good looking
He
dude.
is good looking for her.
He looks like.
Is that a mean thing to say?
He looks
She
like.
thinks. Well, no. I mean, the two
He's
of
out
them.
of her league for sure, but he's not like a standalone. Next to her, he's good looking.
That's why I thought
She's
maybe
rich.
they must have gotten together because of God.
An arranged
she's
marriage.
a godly. No.
Yeah.
Like if she, I think she's a godly woman or whatever.
Like
And
they
she
met
said,
in church or something.
Yeah,
and
she said that she could not do her job without her husband because he helps so much. Because they were like, "Look, you're a mom. You must have some mom guilt." She is a mom. She has daughters, and she's like, I want that. She wants her daughters to be inspired
By a God-fearing man like Donald Trump.
by what she does.
I think it's so important for our kids to see us engage on things that matter. I think my oldest is a girl. I think it's very important for her to see, even at this age, that as a woman she can do anything that she sets out to do.
So, she's still a mom. Honey, never let anyone tell you that you can't be every bit as cruel and soulless as a man. Now get out there and make mommy proud. So, that's where my scintilla of sympathy comes for her, because she is a mom.
Who cares?
I care. I'm a dad. Like, if if people were like yelling at my kids because of something I did,
That's a lot to
that would
handle.
suck.
It's a lot to
Yeah,
handle.
but I mean, what? I don't know.
You sell your soul.
We're all selling our soul for something, baby. I don't know what you're talking about, but
No, pound cake's not for sale.
Unless you're going to wipe away my student debt.
See, then he'll sign your document.
That's the document we'll sign.
That's right.
That's worth it. I don't have no kids.
Right,
I'm single.
but you are for sale is the point. You are for sale to some degree. Now, unfortunately, the 2020 field of people running for president is going to be very broad, very wide. Whatever your particular political inclination is, there's probably going to be a candidate for you. But we've already lost a couple. We've lost Cherie DeVille. She is, love Cherie DeVille. You know Cherie DeVille?
I don't know Cherie DeVille.
A lot of MILF porn. Blonde woman, very cute, I think early 40s. Her real name's Carolyn Paparazzi, but she goes by Cherie DeVille. She announced in June her Make America Effing Awesome Again campaign that she was going to run for president. And she released a video back in June. And she's like, I'm a left-leaning libertarian, and there are things that I believe in that this country can benefit from. And she was very serious and wanted people to know who she was and what she stood for.
Oh, look at that. She's able to take a man's belt off with her toes. Very.
A movement for real change in our country. The current administration does not have the Americans' best interests at heart and are subsequently hurting us as a nation. Donald Trump, as the most powerful man in the world, is also the world's worst role model. From his indiscretions with Stormy Daniels to his immature behavior on Twitter, everything about his presidency is wrong. And why is nothing being done about guns? How is this even a debate? We need change, and we need it now.
Anyway, she was all in, but...
She's got a lot of things all in.
Dude, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, she's talking about inappropriate behavior on Twitter, and I'm just like, I'm on your feed right now. Like, this is... I don't know.
Well, yeah, but a porn star and a president would be, I can't imagine she'd
The
still be
bar
doing
set
pornography
so low.
when she was... But she was way ahead of every other candidate. It was June of 2017, I think, where she announced. But she has jumped out. She said she will throw her support behind Bernie Sanders. She said that she just... the campaign never really got off the ground. She had really hoped that something would happen, but that she thought that Stormy Daniels... the shadow of her loomed too large, and that her own presidential campaign would just seem like she was trying to piggyback on Stormy Daniels. I don't know if there is video of her piggybacking on Stormy Daniels. I would like to see that if that's the case. But she said, I didn't want people thinking that it was just another porn girl getting into politics. So she said she will throw her considerable measurements and abilities behind Bernie Sanders. Then, she got a lot of hate mail.
And she's definitely felt the burn before. So.
She felt the burn before. Yeah. I don't even know if she's been in the business that long. We are in an interesting time in pornography where women get into porn later because the MILF porn's so popular. Used to be like runaways were getting into porn, and yeah, it's still the case for a lot. But there are women who are like, oh, I started at 39 or 38. I think she might be one of them.
Good for her.
So whether or not she has any further aspirations... I don't... What?
Aspirations.
I don't know. But she... And she's not even the first person to drop out. There was a guy who was a state rep in West Virginia, like a Navy SEAL or something. He said he was going to run for president, but he dropped out after 11 days. He
Just
said,
11?
Well, because a lot of these people are like, I'm not going to be able to get off the ground. I can't get money. I have name recognition, whatever. Once the field gets winnowed down to,
But you didn't know that 11 days before you start? Like you...
No,
I know.
no,
Everybody...
no.
I think they take whatever initial heat they get. If they got some in the midterms, people are like, yeah, here in Ohio. God love him. But Sherrod Brown is like, I'm going to run for president. I'm like, what? Outside of Ohio, bro? Like, what do you... So field's going to get winnowed down to the marquee names. But I like to see anybody who thinks Again, I don't know why you jump right to president, but okay, Nobody ever goes, I want to be. Nobody goes, I want to be mayor of Dallas first.
No, because
I
Trump
want to run a
did it.
city. Huh?
Trump was like, I'm just gonna jump all in. And everyone's like, well, so will I then.
But a lot of people just do it for that little bump they get because, like that guy in West Virginia or this porn star, she gets people talking about her name. Her name's out there. We're talking about it. It's probably being talked about by a lot of people.
Apparently not enough because she stopped her campaign.
Yeah, but I mean, it got.
Yeah, but she probably got a couple new subsubscribers.
Yeah,
and Trump's not even
her
the first.
OnlyFans is doing okay.
It's not like he's the first guy to go, I want to run for president. You know what I mean?
He's the first guy who did it.
Well, he was successful.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Who had no background, did it, and won. It was just like, yeah, I'll be president. I don't care.
Yeah.
That's why other people, I don't know. That's
even Reagan was a governor.
Right.
We'll see. All right, we're going to come back. I'm going to have Cavs tickets for you. Kyrie and the Celtics are in town on Tuesday night. It's Bud's night out, too. If you go to Cavs.com, details are all there. Tuesday home games. You get 2 Cavs tickets and 2 24-ounce Budweisers, only $50. So look into that. A couple of tickets for you on the way back. 35192 if you want to text.
The Alan Cox Show on 100.7 WMMS. And everywhere you go on our free iHeart